Yesterday I posted about some of the revenue from my glassy Mac applications like this one, and someone in the Reddit comments said, how did you remove the macOS top bar for closing and minimizing? As you can see, none of my applications use the traditional title bar like this new Xcode project has, so here's a tutorial on everything I know about macOS title bars. And by the way, if you like the look of any of these applications, you can try them free at glassnote.app. When you make a new macOS application in Xcode, it starts with the default title bar here. And the simplest way to change it is with the window style modifier. You can see there are 4 options to choose from. Let's start with automatic, which should return the same title bar style. This is the same as having no window style modifier at all. Here's hidden title bar, which will remove this divider. So we still have the buttons here, but we have one single background that's shared by your content and by the space the title bar used to take up. We also have window style plain, which is probably hard to see. We've essentially removed the entire background of the window style. I haven't found a good use case for ever using this one, but I suppose it does remove the title bar. And finally, we have the title bar style, which as far as I can tell is the same as the automatic style. Let's take a second look at the hidden title bar version, as this is what I think a lot of people will want to use. So everything looks great here, but if we start to change the content in the view, we might notice some irregularities with the color differences between the view and the title bar area. To see that, let's add a background to both the window and to the view itself. So we've added this background to the content, and you can see we have this mismatch between the sort of window background and the view background. And further, if we add a background to the VStack itself within the view, now we have this multiple layers of coloring, and ideally we'd have these colors go edge to edge inside of the window. That's at least what I do for my applications. The background of the app is the same as the background of the title bar area. So let's extend the content so that it takes up the whole window. Now you can see that our content itself has expanded to fill the drawable area for the view, but the title bar is still a different color. Now, if you don't care about custom backgrounds, you can just remove the background colors for both the view and the window, and it will look fine. But in my case, I want this transparency effect, and so I need to make some more changes. And the default window style is not enough. You also might want to remove these buttons, and you have to do that with a different approach. So let's demonstrate both of those now. We've removed the window style and now switched over to the advanced NSView version, where we do the modifier background window modifier function call, and now we can customize window behaviors using NSView. By setting window.title visibility to hidden, we will get the same result that we got with the window style from earlier. But notice that we still have this bar here. So we've removed the title, but we need to remove this dividing line. We do that with title bar appears transparent true. And now we're in the same state that we were before with the window style. And because we're in this context, we can now start to modify other properties on the window. So we can remove the minimize button. Now we only have maximize and close. Those can also be removed, like I've done for a glass watch and glass clock. So now the buttons are removed, and you can still click the title bar to move the window around and resize it like you would normally. This is probably as far as most people want to go when it comes to title bars, but there are a few other things you can do. First, because we're now using the background window modifier, I lost my custom glassy visual effect. We can bring it back by changing the background color and modifying the alpha component, so we now have an almost transparent background. Once the title bar is gone, I've noticed that users tend to expect that you can click anywhere in the window to drag it around, like I have for these applications. So we have to make another change to get that working. Now you can click anywhere in the window, and it moves around as you'd expect. But there's one small problem that you might notice. The issue here is somewhat subtle, so I changed the color of the background here to make it more obvious. The padding around the edges of the window is uneven, so the bottom, right, and left all have the same space, but the top bar is still accounting for the title bar even though you can't see it. So we have to change one more thing. By adding window style mask resizable, we now have even padding around the edges. However, we've lost the rounded corners that people are used to on macOS, and we have these sharp rectangular ones. So how do you fix that? Here we go into the content view and add a clip shape. And I think a value anywhere between 25 and 50 looks right. If anyone knows the actual values in macOS, let me know. I usually go for around 30 or 35. Now you have a rounded window. There you have it. That's how I make my glassy Mac applications with a custom title bar. See ya.